Irosekai. Det här ska ut om 40 minuter så vi måste skynda oss här. God morgon. Punkt. Vi är nu på chapter 8. Tomine Tsukasa wants to work. Så det är väl Tsukasas chapter. It is currently late afternoon. Jag är verkligen precis vaknat och det ska ut om 40 minuter så att det är ganska... Det kommer ju inte gå snabbare för att man läser snabbare, men det kanske kommer bli ett abrupt slut eller ett lite kortare avsnitt. School is out and I'm on my way home. Before that, however, I swing by the shopping district so that I can do some grocery shopping for dinner. Say, Shinku, what do you reckon is going on over there? Numerous passers-by were staring off in this direction, so curious, I turned my eyes as well. Curious. Right. Oh, får en ny CG direkt. Nice. Okej, det här känns ju bra. Nu kan vi avsluta redan nu. Nu har vi en tumnagel och allting. I can plainly see what's going on, but my question is why. Jag undrar vad det står på skylten dock. Ska jag fråga ChatGPT om man kan översätta det där upp mig. Kamera. Översätt detta, tack. Ja. Jag gör vad som helst, jag ska göra mitt bästa. Okej. Jag gör vad som helst. Ja, jag vet inte, hon vill ha pengar. The new resident, Tomine Tsukasa, is standing restlessly in the middle of pedestrian traffic with a tacky-looking placard around her neck. On it is written, "We'll do anything for money." Okay. In addition to that, she's hoisting a sign that displays the words 100 yen for a good time, written in obvious magic marker. 100 yen for a good time. What on earth has the child gotten herself up to? People walk past her hurriedly, only glancing at her, while pretending not to look.
これは予想だけど、何でもします、頑張りますっていうのは、仕事を探してますってことなんじゃないのかな。
Vad smart du är. Work, as in a job.
多分だけど、あの子仕事をクビになっちゃったと、そう言ってたろ？
That certainly sounds like the logical answer, but I can't exactly just nod, say okay, and be on with my business. I'm still confused beyond belief, but I feel like we ought to stop her, whatever the case is.
止める？
I feel like there are better alternative ways to go about looking for work than what she is doing. At the very least, this current method of hers likely isn't going to net her any results whatsoever.
100円ですが。
She timidly tries to solicit the people walking to and fro.
1回100円で心穏やかになれるのです。
However, all they do is frown and eye her like a public embarrassment as they scurry past her. This is just saddening to watch. I peer out at her from behind the corner of a nearby narrow road. There's a certain sense of guilt one feels when they discover a friend's shameful secret by pure accident. Which is probably the reason why I haven't gone up to her and said anything yet.
止めに行くんじゃなかったのか？それともこのままずっと見てるつもりなのか？
No, I will. I need to, but it's just...
でもとか、だけどとか、そんな躊躇してるうちに変な大人に声かけられたりしたらどうするんだ？
Seedy old man. A seedy old man. Come on, Shinku. The people of this town are all good people. At the very least. I don't know if anyone who fits that description. You're just being over-imaginative. Nobody's gonna take advantage of her or anything.
100円
I'm more worried about the shame she's bringing upon herself. What could have possibly made her think that this was a good idea? It baffles me. Despite the reassurance I'd given Shinku, I simply can't bear to watch this go on any longer. Alright. After bracing myself, I step out onto the street. Hey there. I have to know, what are you doing? Hey. She bends over and dips her head energetically. Only for her face to smack right into the placard at full force. You okay there? Tears well up in her eyes. Are you really okay? Are you okay? Right. It feels like she's convinced herself that she's in a daily struggle against life itself or something. Huh. I was just passing by and thought I'd say hi. I decided to sell her a white lie. But I have to ask. I don't mean to pry exactly, but what do you offer in exchange for 100 yen?
おいバカ、最初に聞かなきゃいけないのはそこか？もっと他にあるだろう、いろいろと。
You raise a very valid point, but on the off chance that she fumbles around her words and answers me only in vague terms, I'll know then that I have to intervene. Vänta. Ska bara kolla här. I'm sorry? Okay. And why are you selling shoulder massage? No, really?
司ちゃんは肩叩きがとっても上手だねと子供の自分からおじさんによく言われたものです。
An uncle?
年末に会うといつも千円札をくださるとても太っ腹なおじさんなのです。
Då ska vi också veta att 1000 yen är inte så mycket.
今となってはもう観光総裁くらいでしか顔を合わせることもないような。そもそもあなたと私はどういう関係？お名前は？お年は？その関係性は？血縁関係のその濃度は？
Skulle vilja träffa honom.
という感じで、血縁の重さえもが疑わしいような遠い親族らしいおじさんによく褒められておりました。
Okay.
そうして肩叩きの後はいつも決まって太っ腹のおじさんはピカピカの500円玉を私に握らせてくださります。1000円をくださるだけではなくて500円までも。あのおじさんは本当に神様だって思う。
Wow, he does seem like a generous guy.
はい、そのような経験から弾き出されたのがこの肩叩きなのです。労働とはそれすなわち社会貢献などだと思うわけでして、ですからまず人様が喜ばれることをしなくちゃと思いまして。
Oh.
あのおじさんのおかげでこの方法を思いつきました。感謝なのですよ。
She clasped her hands together in deference. As she continues by saying, and thanks to the people I owe even more gratitude to. Who are these people? She simply grins in lieu of a response. Well, okay. Moving along. So you're using your talents to earn a living. That's nice of you. I shift gears and attempt to be more encouraging.
そういう感じなのです。ちなみにあのおじさんだけではありません。私に背中を預けた親族は皆恍惚とした表情でお帰りになられます。
She bowls and uncurls her fists with glee.
これはもうこの指先に一種のカリスマが宿っているのではないかと思わずにいられないわけで。
Oh, have you now?
すみません。カリスマは言い過ぎでした。
She abruptly begins to blush for reasons unknown to me.
猛省します。結婚詐欺くらいがいいとこなのです。
Sorry, but you're kind of losing me here.
私の指先、安価です。
Huh? What I've learned is that Tomine Tsukasa is much more virtuous than I'd anticipated. Well, anyway, I think I get the picture now. The relief causes the tension in my muscles to fade away. You're charging 100 yen for a shoulder massage, yeah?
はい、そうです。僭越ながらご無礼を承知でお伺いですが、それ以外に何か考えられますでしょうか？
Now you're pushing it. Nu känns det som att ni tvingar fram det här lite grann. Skämtet är liksom redan klart. Nu drar ni bara ut på det. She stares at me blankly, eyes flickering. Oh, no.
肩叩き、とっても気持ちいいです。もしくは肩もみとも言います。
Sorry, just forget I said anything. My mind is stuck in the gutter and I need to take it out.
そうなんですか？
Nodding vaguely, I try to shift the topic of conversation in another direction. So, like, why are you out here in the middle of town trying to sell a shoulder massage?
それははい。
Är det nu vi får veta varför hon vill ha så mycket pengar? She hangs her head, fiddling with the corner of the tacky homemade placard around her neck.
どうしてもまとまったお金が週末までに必要なのです。
Vad hände this weekend
だ
då?
から。
That's why you were trying to earn money via shoulder massage.
はい。先週不手際ばかりを延々と繰り返す私はお仕事をクビになってしまいましたので。
Oh,
ですから新しい収入源として肩叩きを思いつきました私は学校が終わってすぐに人通りが多そうなここに立ってるんですけど。
doesn't look like you've had any luck thus far though.
はい、そうなのです。お察しの通りです、お兄さん。
She looks at me, crestfallen.
手応えどころか。なぜでしょう。誰も私の方を見てくれないっていうか。
Well, something, maybe. To be quite honest, I'm just surprised that Child Protective Services haven't taken custody of her, considering she's standing out here in a school uniform with signs displaying very misleading messages. How about changing her signs first? I think that should be a step in the right direction.
なんだよそれは。そんな助言よりも何よりもまずはこんなことやめさせるのが先なんじゃないのか？
Absolutely right. To do that, however, I would have to inform her of why there's an issue with it, which would be far too embarrassing for me to handle. I think one of the underlying reasons why people aren't interested is because of the writing on your signs.
看板の文字ですか？
Mm-hmm.
なるほど。看板の文字に問題が。それは盲点でした。
She places them in front of her and carefully looks over them.
でも見てください。会心の出来なのです。我ながら上手に書けたと思うんですけれど。
Oh, yeah. The handwriting itself is fine. I was referring to something else, though. See, the issue is your signs don't exactly make it clear. Your handwriting was fine. Make it clear what people are paying 100 yen for.
何がですか？
Yeah, some people might read that and think you're offering something else entirely.
おかしいの？
She cocks her head in ignorance. That's irrelevant. All I'm saying is you probably want to write shoulder massage somewhere on there so people know.
ああ、なるほど。言われてみれば確かに。はあ、お兄さんはやっぱりすごい人なのです。おっぱいの神様は伊達ではないということでしょうか。
Damn right. She nods vigorously to herself as she amends the sign to specify that shoulder massages are what she's offering for 100 yen. Though I really wish she'd give the boob nonsense a rest once and for all. Can I ask you something?
はい、何をでしょうか、お兄さん。
So, it occurs to me that ever since I met her, I've always seen the new resident, Tsukasa, scampering around from place to place, busy as a bee. My first thought was that she was simply someone who liked to work and earn money. Now though, I'm beginning to suspect there's a different reason for all of it. You said you need money, right?
はい、
She gives a quick nod.
実は私、訳あって、あ
Ursäkta?
る方にお金を返さなくちゃいけなくて、
Det här är dock ganska intressant, men... Huh?
今週末までに総額の一部を支払わなければいけないのです。そういう契
Jag
約
ska
に
inte
な
ha
って
något
い
emot
る
att
のです。
liksom läsa hennes route först. Jag vet att den är väldigt kort. Jag tror att hon och Kyo har jättekorta routes. Men det kanske är lika bra liksom. Bara börja med något kort. Sen är det Mio och Kana, deras är långa. Och sen är det the true ending. Vilket är Shinku då. That's what you need the money for.
はいです。
Hmm.
今日が木曜日ですから、今週末っていうのは要するにあさってなわけで、2回眠って目を覚ましたらもうあさってなのですよ。
Yeah. This does shed a bit of light on the reasoning behind the workaholic lifestyle. How much exactly do you need?
はい。
How much money do you need to pay the installments this weekend?
ああ、はい。それはですね。
She cups her hand around her mouth, leans in and whispers discreetly in my ear.
くらい必要なのです。
What? That's a small fortune. I stare at her wide-eyed, half in disbelief. The amount she just whispered to me was no sum of money that any school student had any business dealing with.
はい。そんなにです。だけど、
Vad
必要なんです。
händer
どうしても
annars? She fidgets uncomfortably with an awkward smile plastered on her face. Whatever her reason is for needing this money, I doubt it's one she'd be willing to share with me. But still, you can't honestly expect to earn that money with the time you have left. It's downright impossible.
それはそうかもですけど、でも必要なことには変わりがないのです。愚痴を言っても義務が軽減されたり消去されたりするわけではありませんので。
Well, yeah, that is a valid point. I scratch the back of my head and begin to muse over the matter. Look, I mean, you can give all the shoulder massages you want, but at a cost of 100 yen per massage, you'll never reach your goal. Even disregarding her lack of customers in the first place. Frankly, there's little point in even calculating how many she'd need to give to reach the required sum. The mere thought of it makes my head spin. Listen, Tsukasa.
何でしょうか、お兄さん。
I don't know why you need such a large sum of money.
はい。とにかく私は頑張って頑張らないわけにはいかないのです。
Right, and I don't necessarily think that's a bad mindset to have. I can't say I share her work ethic, but I would be more than glad to take some of that enthusiasm off of her, free of charge. But I don't think eagerness alone is gonna solve anything. So, if you really desperately need the money, I'd be willing to lend...
それはダメです。
She raises her fist into the air in protest, and hur mycket pengar var det? And I soon realized that any arguing with her is
いけ
futile.
ません、そんなことは。
I mean, what other option do you truly have at this stage?
ここでお兄さんに迷惑をかけては、この先ずっと何かあったら私はお兄さんを頼るようになってしまうような気がしちゃうのです。
You really think that will happen?
はい、そんなものなのです。
She nods frantically with sincere conviction. Personally, though, I see no issue with her relying on me. I'm her senior, so if anything, I'd prefer she does so.
とにかく自分で額に汗して稼がないわけには意味をなさないのです。
Oh, okay. I mean, I'm not criticizing your way of thinking or anything. I gaze up at the sky. Well, whatever. It's getting fairly late, so why don't you come on home for the day? I imagine you must be starving.
いえいえ、お気遣いいただきありがとうございます。だけどそんなことはないのです。私を
Did you eat something?
はい、キサラギお姉さんにおいしいお昼のお弁当をもらったので、私はこのまま3日3晩を余裕しゃくしゃくで。
Hon har haft en endaste betalande kunden. The sudden growl of her stomach betrays every word she just uttered. Soon after, she blushes. You basically just admitted to it, though.
違うんです。ちょっと今のは違うんです。
You'd have to have been deaf not to hear it.
それはおな
It's fine. You don't need to explain. I quickly interrupt her as she verges toward a full mental breakdown. So what you're trying to say is you won't go home until you made the money.
はい、そのつもりです。私頑張りを形ある結果につなげたいんです。
Right, but it will be pretty hard for you to work at full capacity on an empty stomach, no?
それは欲しがりません。勝つまではの精神なので。
You don't think that's taking things a little too far? I smile a bit wryly. You sound like a soldier in a war zone. Almost.
はい、私にとっては今まさに戦乱真っ只中ってわけなのです。
Right. She won't budge on this matter no matter what I say.
ともかく、もしも週末になってそれでも手ぶらで帰宅しようものなら、お兄さんにどうか解釈のほどよろしくお願いしたいわけなのです。この
You're gonna do what now? She bows toward me solemnly, but to be frank, I don't think I'm ready to carry such a heavy burden. Allow me to ask you again. Why are you so dead set on earning this money? Why are you willing to make so many sacrifices?
はい、限界ギリギリまでここでお客様を待ち続ける所存です。もうこれしか進める道はないんです。私には。
I feel like you're kind of blowing this out of proportion. Oh well, why are you adamant against letting me lend you the money?
そうおっしゃっていただけるのは非常に嬉しいですし、潔癖なまでにどうしても嫌だということではありませんが、それでもやっぱり。
She looks rather despondent. Okay, I think I get it. It's not something she can bring herself to do, because essentially it goes against her personal values. Well, I guess I'll buy it. I'll take one of your shoulder massages. 100 yen, right?
はい、ありがとうございます。
You're my first
いらっしゃい
customer.
ませ。なのです。
She smiles in delight. That pure innocent reaction catches me off guard, and I feel a strange twinge in my chest. But I shake my head to regain my composure.
どうぞどうぞ、こちらへどうぞ。
Okej, här är jag gillar de här chibi-bilderna, men jag vet inte riktigt om det här är... Jag vet inte vilken som skulle vara som en bättre tumnagel egentligen. Kan spara den där oavsett. She beckons for me to sit down in a folding chair that was seemingly pulled out of thin air. Sure, here's the money in advance, by the way.
はい、毎度どうもです。うわ、1万円です。
She waves the bill around high in the air, eyes sparkling.
すごい、大きい。これが噂の諭吉先生、巨万の富です。
Alltså jag vet inte, jag skulle vilja ha liksom bara såna här chibi-tumnaglar också på ett sätt, för de här är ganska roliga. Den här är ju liksom underbar. I'm half tempted to make some witty comment asking if she's never seen a 10,000 yen bill before, but whatever.
今お釣りを出しますので、ちょっと待っていてください。1万円なんていう大先生の登場は想定しておりませんでしたので、両替がちゃんと足りるかどうか。
You can keep the change. It's a tip.
ダメです。そんなわけにはいきません。
Why not?
チップなんていう経済破壊的な制度というか習慣はこの
Oh. I can't help but think that she's just coming up with some far-fetched excuse to refuse my money. Who knows? Maybe she's just diligent to a fault. Somehow or another, she manages to scrounge together 9,900 yen in change for me.
お客様です。精一杯頑張りますです。
Yeah, I can't wait. This seems to be the only thing I can do to help her. It's pitiful, really. I want to cry. How far is this poor girl going to go with this? After doing my good deed by providing her with her first ever customer, I walked away feeling somewhat content. My judgment, for whatever it is worth, her shoulder massages are indeed very good. Instead of leaving, however, I snuck back to the alleyway I was hiding in when I first arrived here. 2.5 hours have passed since. Dinner time has long since ended. I imagine everyone back at the dorm is waiting impatiently with grumbling stomachs, but I just can't bring myself to abandon this girl.
気持ちはわかるけど、こんなところで見てたって
A little
何の
creepy.
解決に
Yeah, but I just don't know what else I can do. She's still standing out there, placard around her neck and sign hoisted up into the air. Needless to say, not a single person has stopped and asked for a massage. Att polisen inte kommer är ju konstigt. At this point I doubt she budged an inch from that spot, even if a torrential downpour were to occur.
どうするんだユーマ。本当にこのままずっとこうしてこ
I really don't know. I don't know what to do. What would you do if you were in my shoes?
そうだな。難しいな。私にも何をしていいのか、何をするのがあの子のためになるのか。だけど今
Huh?
客観的に見てあの子もあの子でおかしいけど、今のお前もお前で
Whoa, come on. How am I acting weirdly?
物陰に潜んでそこから女の子を何時間もずっと観察し続けているような人間を第三者が見たらどんなひいき目に通報されたとしても文句は言えないって。
Förvånad att hon inte haft det. That really seems so ridiculously suspicious. But look, Shinku, I can't just tell her good luck and go home, now can I? I'm the acting door manager, for what it's worth, so I have a responsibility to look after my residents.
やっぱりユーマがお金を貸すしかないって思うよ。私はどうにかしていい手を考えて。
Yeah, I guess you're right. However, no matter how many times I offer to lend her the money, she'll just decline politely. That much is for certain. Even if I offer to buy more shoulder massages, as a resolution, her charging price is only 100 yen. No amount of massages would ever get her to the amount that she needs. Guess I just have to see if I can manage to persuade her.
偶然また前を通りかかったっていう体で
Yeah, I know full well it will seem laughable, but what other option do I have? I ruminate over what I could possibly say to her to persuade her. Mere seconds after I start to duck out of the corner of the alleyway, however...
ちょっとそこの君、何やってんの？
Huh? Stupefied, I slowly turn my body around. Shinku's warning about being reported to the police echoes in my mind. Is that really what's about to happen?
不審者発見。
What? And who do I find upon turning around but Susu-san? Cell phone in hand as it so happens. Oh, it's just you.
なんだとはなんだよ。ちょっと釣れないんじゃないの？
Why do you have that out? I point toward the phone in her hand as I say so. You just took a picture of me, didn't you?
動かぬ証拠を収めておかなきゃ。
What do you mean in case it's ever needed? I'm doing nothing wrong here.
ブツブツブツブツ独り言。でもないのかな。ともかくブツブツ言いながらこんなところに隠れてるやつを見かけたら、誰だってこいつ怪しい。
Så hon vet ändå om att Shinku finns, va? What? You're so
ゆ
rude.
うくんは下着泥棒だけじゃなくて、覗きにも興味津々なのかなって思っちゃう。
I'm not peeping. What did I ever do for you to be so distrustful of me? The underwear thing aside. As someone who always strives to act morally and respectfully, it's unfathomable to me that my usual behavior would warrant these kinds of accusations. Hell, we even cleared up the underwear thing. My innocence was proven.
あれ？そうだ。
She looks at me in confusion, but I know she's simply feigning ignorance.
ところで何見てんの？私も見たい。面白い？
Shush, keep your voice down.
あれ？ちょっとあれって新人ちゃんじゃん。なんで？
She points her camera and snaps a quick photo of Tsukasa.
やだ、何あれかわいい。待ち受けにしちゃいたいくらい。
Why are you taking so many damn pictures of everything? Did you suddenly decide to become a photographer overnight or something?
いや、さっきまで有名な写真家さんのエッセイを読んでたんだけどね。
She begins to prattle on about this supposed super famous person.
仕事場で死ねるなんていうのはとても幸せなことなんだなって思わない？
So I take it you want to follow in this person's footsteps, die every day.
そんな安っぽいんじゃないやい。
Why the photo taking then?
インスパイアだい。
Right, so it's less you wanting to be a copycat of him and more a sign of respect kind of thing.
ともかくさ、何あれ？可愛いけどなんであんなことさせてるの？ちょっとや。
Hey, hold up. Why are you shooting me that accusatory glare? You think I coerced her into doing that?
あれ？違うの？
No. I heave a sigh. What are you even doing here anyway?
そうそう。君、携帯の
My phone?
そうだよ。朝からずっと連絡しよう。
What? Seriously?
何なの？
She puffs up her cheeks indignantly. No, I didn't mean that. I take my phone from my pants pocket and check it. Oh, you're right. It's completely dead. I must have forgotten to charge it.
ちょっと君。
She looks at me in pure disbelief that anybody in this day and age would make that mistake. I can't help that though. I'm just terribly forgetful.
もしかして着信拒否でもされちゃってるのかなって朝からちょっと考えすぎちゃって。
Why would I block you? I need to know if a work call comes, or if some emergency springs up. But you said you've been trying to call me this whole day.
そうだよ。あんまりにも繋がらないから。それに帰りも遅いしさ。ちょっと学校ま。
She then turns her attention back towards Tsukasa, who's still standing on the street.
ほんと。何やってるの？
Apparently she needs money. Don't know what for though.
お金が？
Yeah, that's what she told me.
な
Oh, Suzu-san, I know that's important, but don't forget my original question. Why were you trying to call...
なるほどなるほど。なるほどね。よし、決めた。
Okej, jag tror att vi rundar av här på väldigt cliffhanger, men det är att det här avsnittet måste vara ute om 8 minuter, så att det blir väldigt mycket utav en cliffhanger. Lite så här inconvenient, men vi tar och rundar av här. Jag får tacka för att ni har kollat, hej då.